The new CNN film, Lady Valor, it airs tonight. It looks at the life of a former SEAL Team 6 member with quite a shocking secret. After retiring after 20 years of active duty service and 13, count them, 13 deployments as a Navy SEAL, Christopher Beck made the brave decision to transition to a woman. The film looks at Beck's journey and his new start as Kristen.
To prove it is like what's happened to me. As soon as I started speaking out and saying that I think these teenagers need more time, they also need to reclassify transgender as gender dysphoria. It used to be in the psychologist manual for mental health issues. Now they've gotten rid of that, and now as soon as somebody goes in there and says anything even close to transgender, you're basically labeled transgender and you start pushing your surgery. That's what I'm trying to stop.
This video is brought to you by Birch Gold, Will the lack of a red wave during the midterms lead to a more emboldened Biden? And how will you protect your hard-earned savings from the reinvigorated left? The answer is gold. Gold is the world's oldest, most proven form of currency. It's there for you when inflation soars, when other assets go sideways. And that's why Birch Gold is so thrilled to introduce a new product that reimagines gold as currency, the Gold Back. This month, you'll get a free Gold Back for every $5,000 purchase when you convert an existing IRA or 401k into a precious metals IRA with Birch Gold by December the 22nd. Birch Gold will help you on gold and silver in a tax-sheltered account. Text Brandon to 989898 and claim your free information kit on gold. Then talk to one of their precious metal specialists. Plus, with every purchase, I want you to remember this, with every purchase that you make before December the 22nd, you'll get a free Gold Back. This is a great stocking stuffer just in time for Christmas. Text Brandon to 989898 and protect your savings with gold today. Like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you get notifications. Anytime I go live, make a video, make sure you still subscribe to this channel. Like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Let's get into this. Ladies and gentlemen, in the last segment, I was speaking about the former Navy SEAL, Chris Beck, who transitioned to being a transgender and was praised by the left. Now he's telling the truth about detransitioning and the trauma and what he think would be a better path moving forward for young people. And the crazy thing is the left don't want to hear him now. You can't tell me this is not an agenda. He comes out, they celebrate him. Now he's saying, hey, that was a big mistake, and I have some words of wisdom for kids, and he's detransitioning. They should have him out and celebrate him as well, but they're not. Let me finish the clip because we played the clip in the last segment. I want to finish the clip here, clip one.
Transgender originally started out as pretty basic and very rare, and now it's kind of morphed into an ideology, and that's what I'm kind of speaking out about. Speaking about the ideology, I'm not talking about the people. Now, there's a lot of transgender people out there, great folks. But the ideology was what I'm talking about. It's becoming something where it's being pushed in schools, and young teenagers are having surgeries because they're saying they're transgender. It's an affirmation. Once a teenager walks into an office, even if the parents are saying no, that doctor can override that, and that's a problem. So then you also, just to say the ideology and what's going on, to prove it is like what's happened to me. As soon as I started speaking out and saying that I think these teenagers need more time, they also need to reclassify transgender as gender dysphoria. It used to be in the psychologist manual for mental health issues. Now they've gotten rid of that, and now as soon as somebody goes in there and says anything even close to transgender, you're basically labeled transgender and you start pushing your surgery. That's what I'm trying to stop.
And who better to explain this than a person that has gone through it? The weird thing about the left is that they don't want to help you. They want to lure you into a situation where then they can then control you and marginalize you and then pit you against other people. Our goal in America when it comes to transgender homosexuality is to get them the help they need. Because I know people who are gay who don't want to be gay. I know people who were gay and they ain't gay no more. I know people who say that they were molested and sexually abused. That's why they have grown an attraction to the same sex. Not every single person that's walking around here that's attracted to the same sex sexually is somehow born that way. There are people who get abused into having dysphoria. And why can't we provide the help they need? The numbers show that people who are transgender or whatever commit suicide at a high rate, suicide attempts at a much higher rate than anybody else on planet Earth. Why wouldn't we be pushing forth an effort to get them help? With all the scientific innovation, why wouldn't we help people like that? And I know there's a way to do it, but the powers that be don't want you to get help. If you come out as gay, they celebrate you so they can marginalize you and pit you against a straight Christian male. But there has to be ways in which you can sit down and have a conversation with somebody and say, look, I'm feeling this way because you know what? I'm like my mama. I've been hanging around my mama a lot. I don't have a strong male in my life. And so I pick up my mannerism from my mama. Talk that through with somebody. Let me just give you some examples. If a woman is sexually abused and she becomes extremely promiscuous, what should you do with her? She probably needs to go to counseling to deal with the trauma. That's why she's acting out. It's not because she wants to have sex with all these guys. It's because there's something on the inside, some insecurities, lack of trust, lack of self-worth that makes her feel like she's validated by sleeping with a bunch of men. Same thing with young boys. They going out and sleeping with 100 different women. They need counseling. There's trauma there. And they're expressing themselves through doing certain things that are counterproductive and destructive to their lives. We should give people help instead of thrusting them into a certain perspective. Look at pornography. Do you think women are happy after they retire from pornography? Do you think they're happy? And then I can almost bet my job that if you go and survey women who are doing pornography, I guarantee you that majority of them didn't have a dad growing up. Majority of them were sexually abused or exposed to sexuality at a very young age. I almost guarantee you that probably 93% of people that join pornography are probably fall in those categories. And then you have some people that are just freaky and they just want to do what they want to do. But I would argue that the majority of people have been traumatized. Trauma. Why won't we give people help? If a young boy is growing up and he think he's a girl, he need to have, like what I would argue should be the case is not that you confirm, you take an unbiased approach to listen to him and confirm that he's a girl. He's a kid. He don't know what he's doing. He's a child. It's like a child can't raise another child. They don't have the wisdom, discernment. They're not structurally in a position to raise children. That's why children cannot own firearms. They're not responsible enough to carry a gun. Children cannot drink alcohol, smoke cigarettes, get a mortgage. Children can't own vehicles, rent a car. There's age limits because you're not responsible. You're not mentally mature enough to take on those responsibilities. So what in the flying flip will make you think a 7-year-old can interpret and understand the responsibility of changing his gender forever? People can't even make a decision buying a car as adults, let alone as a kid, making a decision to change your identity forever. Never been on a date, haven't hit puberty yet, have never been in a sexual relationship with the opposite sex, haven't been exposed to any of these things. And somehow before you're exposed to those things as a 7, 8-year-old, 10-year-old, 15-year-old, you're supposed to now make a decision that you want to live as a woman. And I would argue this point, which is why I'm highly suspicious all the time of this transitioning thing, is that how do you know what a woman is supposed to be for you to feel you need to emulate that? Let me give you an example. Women in America are different than women in Dubai, that are different than women in South America. Culturally, women do different things. Culturally, the idea of a woman is different. You can even go historically. Women used to not even shave their legs. So hairy legs, is that not being a woman? The idea of women have changed over time. And so how are you born having this idea that you want to be feminized? What does that even mean unless socially it's constructed? I would argue that a boy growing up, he may feel feminine. That don't mean he's a woman. He may be attracted to men. That don't mean you're a woman. And you may be attracted to men. That don't mean you gay or you have to live a gay lifestyle. You could be attracted to men and say, you know what? This is not conducive for what I want to do in the future, which is have children and other things like that. It's not conducive. So just because you're sexually attracted to a person or you're attracted to it don't mean you have to dive into it. Just like married men. I make this analogy all the time. Married men. Just because you see a woman at the beach and she a 10, don't mean you got to sleep with her. Why? Maybe you want to. Maybe you're attracted to her. Maybe that's what your mind's saying. Maybe you were born this way. But at some point in your life, you got to make a decision and say, this is not conducive for what I want to do in the future. And you can even say if something happens to your wife and she blow up and she's 400 pounds and you're not attracted to her whatsoever. Vice versa. If your husband blew up to be 400 pounds and you somehow are not attracted to him whatsoever, does that give you the right because you're attracted to another person to go have sex with another person to get in another relationship? No. You made a commitment. You can make a decision to say, although I'm attracted to Bill across the street, I have an obligation to my family here, and so I'm not going to go down that path. I'm telling you, it's a no-brainer to me. But I'll talk about it more in the next segment. I got a whole bunch of other stuff to talk about. Y'all hold the phone. I'll be back after the break.